So without further ado, I had at the top the biggest news up until about an hour ago. Kawhi Leonard re-signs with the Los Angeles Clippers. 4 years, 176 million. I believe that's the max he can sign for with the Clippers. And yeah, everyone expected it. He was still technically a free agent and out there. I don't even know if he spoke to any other teams. It seemed like a foregone conclusion that he wants to spend the rest of his career in LA. Obviously, still lots of unease and lack of information surrounding his knee injury and how the surgery has gone, or if it's even happened yet, and how much time he's going to miss at the beginning of next season. But just like the Brooklyn Nets, the Clippers, you got to pay this guy the max amount for him to stay. And so you're paying a ton of guaranteed money for this guy to sit on your bench for half the season, but they lock him up. And who knows? Kawhi, right? He is the father of load management. So come playoff time, having him fully rested might be the best thing for this team.
Yeah, it one of the few times a player is signing a contract for over $100 million feels like it might be slightly undervalued. Probably just coming in the wake of Steph Curry and Luka Doncic both breaking that $200 million barrier. The injury does throw a wrench into that, though. You. I'm really not sure what the Clippers are signing on to for another 3, 4 years. I think the fourth year is player option. But with Kawhi, you have no choice, right? You have to pay him the absolute max that you can pay him. And if you don't do it, so many other teams would be chomping at the bit to do so. They've already more than doubled down with all the draft picks shipped off to Oklahoma City. And I I've said this before in the past. I don't know how much the sentiment is. I don't think it's ring or bust for the Clippers. I think having an era of being a continuous top four team would be a pretty acceptable result for the franchise. It would be a period where potentially they're bigger than the Lakers and just establish their culture. We're still waiting for that marquee playoff matchup between the two of them, right? Like
Yes. Yeah. We need that.
both teams falling earlier than expected the past two chances, but a run where they meet in the Western Conference could really seal it. And just everything about Kawhi's character, when he went to the Clippers, brought George, making them mortgage their future for it, it would have been kind of beyond shocking if he had deserted the team. So not really a huge surprise, just a chance to stop and check in on how this experiment has been going for them.
Yeah, I totally agree with some of the points you made there that you brought up, that it's not such a bad thing for them to be an intensely successful team without a ring in a loaded Western Conference, because as we saw, last year was the first time that organization had ever made the conference finals, right? It's an organization that has been haunted. It has a pretty brutal history and a lot of mistakes by ownership, a lot of players that flamed out there. And so even though the expectations are sky high and you want to win a ring, sometimes it's good to have a team that goes deep a couple of years and really builds that core fan base amongst younger viewers, because they've never had success like this before. And so sometimes that is all you can really ask for. There's that side of it. And then the side that I would take is they are spending so much money. Like Steve Ballmer, just when he walks, he sweats like actual coins. He's just so rich. And they're spending all this money on guys. They've gone all in. They've mortgaged a lot of their future, is owned by the Oklahoma City Thunder, that it kind of feels like they choked out in the bubble and everyone thought they were going to choke out again against Dallas. That luckily Kawhi had it, maybe one of the best two-way games of all time, and they move through. Then they get all the way to the Western Conference Finals, and if Kawhi is fully healthy, they probably beat the Suns. And who knows? Then in that point, they could probably be the title favorites. So in that regard, with a healthy Kawhi. Um, you have Reggie Jackson re-signing yesterday as well. This is a team that has all the pieces in place pretty much same as last year, that if I'm them, the expectations 100% are go for a title, because they haven't really done anything notable yet from the objective eye. But in LA, they've made that Western Conference Finals. Obviously, it's a big accomplishment. You're looking to build on that now.
Yeah, that's it.